When a presence appears, when it reveals itself, this is not a random happening. It's messages to be understood. For the presence showing itself, it's intentional. They have chosen to make contact. What a gift that is for us. And within that presence is an array of information. Contact is enveloped with messages. None of it, not one bit of it, is accidental. It's all intentional on their part. It's all by design. For those of you that joined us for the Mechanics of Mediumship, here is a little recap on initial spirit contact. As you lean into that spatial awareness, as you lean into your spatial awareness and sense that primary presence, where are they standing? Behind you? In front of you? To the left of you? To the right of you? Where are they standing? And importantly, why? Remember, every bit of their actions, their tone, their projections are all intentional. So where are they standing? Behind you, in front of you, to the left, to the right? And importantly, why? Every bit of that action is intentional. Every bit of that contact is carrying information. Every bit of it is messaging. Why? Everything they do is carrying a message for you. Then we can apply the 3 golden questions. Who are you? Why are you here? And what message do you carry? Journaling to explore these questions can be really useful, really useful. And then you can reach for the cards. A simple yet punchy 3-card spread. When I first started to work with the cards, one of the things that they taught me was to take 3 cards. First card representing the past, the middle card, second card representing the present, past, present, and the third card future. And I worked with that for a while, and then they switched gears and they taught me this very simple but punchy 3-card spread. It went from past, present and future, which in a way carries so much energy around prediction. What they then taught me was problem, solution, outcome. And I could feel the expansion in that, and I think that was a forerunner to moving also more directly, more deeply into holistic mediumship. So first card, identifying the problem, and we can do a collective little reading. I'm just going to skate over it, but it'll give you a feel. So first card, identifying the problem. So let's just pull a random card. Which is making sense for the collective. And next card being the solution. Also making sense for the collective, and the third card being the outcome. Okay, so first card, identifying the problem. Okay, there's so much here that I feel. Okay, so much here I feel as if everything is being thrown up in the air. Okay, but in doing so there is a really strong sense of a reset. You know, sometimes when everything gets thrown up in the air, we can kind of look at it and go, oh no, you know, it's like that's a terrible thing. It's a very challenging thing, but is it always terrible? There you go, there's the question from Spirit. It can be a very, very challenging thing, but is it a terrible thing? Is it a blessing in disguise? Is it a blessing in disguise? And you kind of look at that. How am I seeing that? I'm seeing all these cups fly up in the air, but also the person is. But there's all this golden light around it. Okay, so that feels like it is expansion. So when things rupture, they normally rupture because they're not working. And then what follows that is a sense of expansion. Something Spirit have been whispering about and talking about for a few months now. Okay, 9, transitory number. Could look at the numerology. I will always say, do not look at the guidebook. Something we shared quite a lot on the recent Mechanics of Mediumship is allow the cards to speak to you organically. Let them whisper to you. Okay, and you've got this treasure chest here, as if this person is actually bursting out the treasure chest with all these cups and golden light. This is expansion into potential, but to get there, there's growing pains. Okay, there's growing pains. It is not always is it ever a straightforward path? But bursting out of this treasure chest, absolutely moving into deep potential, expansion, and I would also say purpose. Very, very powerful card. The solution is to know it isn't a straightforward path. Look at this. Reaching the light. Okay, is it ever a straightforward path to reach the light? Definitely not. Okay, there's growing pains, there's transformation, there's alchemy, there's letting go, there's surrendering. Okay, it isn't a straightforward path. It's 5 of Wands, 5 absolutely to do with movement, Wands illumination. Okay, so as I say, I'm just skating over this to give you a feel, just touching the edges of it really. And here we have the outcome. Okay, when we move through dynamic transformation and expansion at that level, the pathway is never straightforward, and there's always healing to be done. But I kind of get a feeling here around this card is that we need to take time. As a good friend of mine says, we're either moving in time or we're moving through time. Collectively, the world around us moves everything through time. And are we moving in time or through time? We need to make time for a healing. We live in a world that, you know, says to you, you know, your arms and legs and your head can fall off on a Friday, but you're expected to be back to work on the Monday. Okay, and really we're not making time for true healing. We're not allowing ourselves to, you know, kind of dissolve into the healing that is required. And the other thing is to really nourish and nurture a pathway in relationship with the innate and within relationship to spirit, is that we need to take time. We need to get a strong, solid sense of self, and that also means that it's not always the light. Okay, we are moving towards the light, and actually the bloody fucking light is coming for us as well. Yeah, as everything heals, it isn't always a light experience. It sometimes is raw, and it is shitty, and it is mucky, and it is gritty, which is what true healing is. But we cannot bypass this step. We cannot move around this step. No matter what, the light is coming for us, and in doing so it will move us at times into deep healing and also crisis. But beyond that is transformation, and we need to, rather than try and run away from it, we need to lean into it. All food for thought. All food for thought. So there you are. Really simple, but look what you can unravel. And none of that was used from a guidebook. You could look at that card another time, and you could kind of look at that card for someone who just feel, my God, you've just lost someone really close to you. You've just lost there's a mother figure here over my shoulder, and actually there is a mother figure over my shoulder. Is someone just lost their mum? I wonder if someone's listening to this and it's found their way to them. I get a very gentle, warm presence on my shoulder, very supportive when they were here this side of life, but a force to be reckoned with. And then I get kind of light, almost blonde. There's coppery strands within their hair. They're over my shoulder. There we are. So very, very, very simple, simple layout. Identifying the problem, the solution, and the outcome. And I think this is an outcome. It is saying, you know, it's like that roadway, that pathway to healing is one that cannot be bypassed. It cannot be, there's no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to it. Okay, there are no shortcuts. So let the cards speak to you. Get rid of the guidebook, and remember, it's not your imagination. So when that presence makes contact, it's not your imagination. When you're in this space to work, it is not your imagination. All information is information. And a haunted place is just a house remembering. There we are. I'm going to leave that with you. Those of you that have shown interest for the next Mechanics of Mediumship, we have the date released. Links are going to be within the profile. I'm going to leave that with you, and as always, keep shining and sending you all so much love.